Saying start an event.
Yeah, same.
There we go. We're live.
Oh, there's
Evening, everybody.
30 eager people already.
I know. On time. Love it.
Hello, Leslie.
Yes.
I reckon people join these and look at me and like, who is this kid? I realise that.
I will introduce Tom in a minute.
Thanks.
I'm going to try and pronounce everyone's name. She's Sam, Derry, Sean. I'm good with those. Anna, Mohammed, good to have you. Yeah, guys, we're going to be starting about 5 past, so we're just going to let everyone sort of filter in. So if you are here, welcome. Hello. Good evening. You all already put in hello in the chat, but put where you're calling from as well. Where are you based? Are you in the UK? Are you abroad? Are you on holiday? What are you doing with your Tuesday evening? This lovely Tuesday evening. Is it sunny up there, Tommy? Looks it.
Is that a joke? Oh, because I got my background on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sunderland, near you.
This is what Sunderland looks like. This is the beach.
Oh, they beat Newcastle, didn't they? So everyone's
having
a good time, aren't
they? Me and Mohammed are going to have some trouble if you mentioned it.
Sheffield, good lad. I am from Sheffield. I'm not in Sheffield anymore. Oh, Sherelle. I'm so sorry if I get your name wrong. Manchester. Rob's just in the UK. Cool. London, sunny Glasgow. Ireland, Chester, lovely. Wakey. England, UK, London, Worcestershire. Worcester. UK. Staffordshire, Brighton, West Yorkshire. Good lad. UK, just put your daughter to bed. Nice. North East, Cambridgeshire, Dorset. Up north where it's always sunny. Yeah, I wish. Raining for like the next 3 weeks, I think. Banbury, Manchester, Hyde, Scotland. What do you all do for work at the moment? What are you currently doing for work? Oh, I did say it right. Come on. I'll go massive. What do you all currently do for work? Gardening. Stay at home, dad. Newcastle. There you go. You got a fellow.
Come on.
Hello, Magpie. UNA, NHS, traffic safety, medically retired, train technician, so counsellor, joinery, lawyer in Pakistan, security, so community, sales assistant. Oh, we're in sales already, lovely. Chef, RAF driver, so forensic specialist, engineering. Good name, Frankie. Good name. Teaching assistant, small independent cinema, so PT, lovely. PTs unite. Utility sector, warehouse. You know my story, do I? Success daughter. That can't be your name. Private healthcare. 11-year job. There we go. Not anymore, Derry. We're going to get you something. 25 years construction, day trader, lorry driver, hospitality. Lovely. Yeah, we'll give it a couple of minutes, guys. Let everyone filter in. It's so weird because I can't see anyone's face or anything. I can just see names. What brought you all here tonight? What got you here? What made you want to spend your Tuesday night with me? Always good to know. Hello, if you're just joining. Hello. Welcome. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Go and get yourself a drink. Get a pen and paper out. Hungry. Good. Pound signs, like it. Cost of living, very true. All my neighbours have decided to come out at the same time. Like having a little party outside my house. What are they all doing? $60 hours a week, man. Thank you for your service. Learn the tricks of the trade. Good. Yeah, perfect. Look, what we'll do, guys, just to give a quick sort of show of how the night's going to go. So obviously, I'm Frank. You should all know me in some capacity, hopefully. Tom, who isn't on screen. There will be a recording, yes, that's fine. I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Tom is people in Zenith. He's just the guy behind the screen. I'm the face of it. The way tonight's going to work is I'm going to be the one presenting. I'm going to be going over everything. I'm going to be just presenting. Tom is going to be in the chat answering questions. So while we are talking, obviously you're going to be wanting to know more, understand things. Just make sure you ask as many questions as possible. Like, please just ask. There's no stupid question. You've got the chat feature, or you've got the Q&A section to the right of the chat feature. You'll be able to ask questions in there. Tom's going to be in the chat answering questions throughout the webinar. So if you have Shay-ish, right, I'll remember that, Shay-ish. Shay-ish. Cool. He'll be answering questions throughout the webinar that you've got. You will have some. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A section anyway, where we'll go over either ones that Tom thinks will be good for me to answer from the chat that we've had throughout, or ones that you want to then directly ask me at the end. We can have a little section there so you can make sure you're going away with as much information as possible. Let me just see if this is going to work. Can you see my screen, Tom?
I certainly can.
Lovely stuff. No tech issues. I like it. Can everyone just put in the chat like some form of acknowledgement that you can see my screen? That everyone can see me, hear me. All the tech is working fine. Yeah. What motivates me to do these sessions? Helping people, man. Visible. Good. Perfect. Right, we will get started. So, as I said, if you have questions, please ask. There is no stupid question. Shayish, yes, you can link other people into this. Just send them. Tom, can you put the join link in the chat?
Yeah, I'll grab that now.
And then you can send it to anyone if you got someone else that wants to come as well. That's absolutely fine. Yeah. So as I said, I'm going to be presenting. So I'll just be a screen share. I'll just be talking. If at any point you want to ask a question, use the chat. Tom will answer it live and give you an answer to whatever you have. Literally anything at all. Not a problem. We'll do a Q&A at the end. We're going to have two agendas tonight. I basically want you to have a full understanding of what remote sales is, what this industry is, how it works, why it's developing, why I think now is a really good time to get into it and consider it. And then we're also going to go through my company Zenith and help you understand what we can do to help shortcut the path, if this is a path you even want to consider, right? We're going to cover why the old career path is broken and why this year, 2026, is the gold rush window for remote sales. We're going to go through the exact mechanics of how normal people, just like me, just like you, are making 5 figures per month without having to go and start a business or do one of these side hustle things that you see online. How we can move from stuck to skilled, even if you have absolutely no experience. And I mean no experience, like 0 experience at all. And we're going to go through the 90-day roadmap to a $5 grand a month job and the guarantee that removes all of the risk. Tom, just a quick one. My dad is probably the tech phobe, but he's saying he can't get in, so I don't know if people are struggling to get in. So
what's happening with him?
I don't know. Just get that thing across to. I'll just copy this, and if we just send in that out on WhatsApp, that'd be good.
Yeah.
No, we know it's working. I'll just quickly do this. Just want to make sure. There we go. Right, my dad likes to come to these so he can watch me. Right, perfect. Notice as well, I'm not going to sell you anything tonight on this webinar. There's not going to be like a checkout link. There's not going to be a price slide. There's not going to be anything where you have to go and press buy at the end of this webinar. So everyone just chill before you start asking. The next step after this presentation is going to be a one-to-one call. If you feel like this is something that you want to consider, we're going to have a one-to-one conversation with you to make sure it's something you definitely want to consider. I'm not going to bully you into doing anything on this call at all. That's not what this is here for. This is purely informative. And another one, this is not a get-rich-quick, do-by-dickhead webinar. This is not something where I'm going to promise you millions overnight and you're going to be driving around in a rented Lamborghini wearing a fake watch next week. That's not what this is about. This is about having a bit more money, a bit more stability, a quieter, calmer life without having to go and start a business or one of these side hustles that you see all over the internet. And if I don't deliver real value tonight, not only do I not want you to join Zenith, I want you to never speak my name again. I want you to block me on everything and never want you to talk to me ever again. Okay? I want you to have as much value coming out tonight as possible. And before we do start, I want you to sit down and imagine that you've actually paid to be here tonight. I know everyone's here for free and this is a free class and that's what it is. It's just to help you and help you understand. But if you don't pay, you don't pay attention. So I don't want you distracted doing other stuff, cooking dinner and having this on in the background. I want you to sit down, pen and paper, lock in. It's only about an hour long. And I just want you to listen, ask questions and understand everything to the best of your ability. And I want you to pretend that you've just paid $2,000. If you paid $2,000, you'd probably listen, right? So please pretend that is the case. Right. So sales. This is a market that is right in its pre-explode stage, and it probably already is into its explode stage. But the key to this tonight that I want you to understand is that you are early to this. This is a young market, okay? This is something that a lot of people are trying to do. Not many people are doing very well at it because they're just inherently bad at it, right? And this is something that if with the right guidance and right teaching, you can really take advantage of the young market that is here right now. And I want to give you a bit of a reality check. You're with me on a Tuesday evening. It's the end of March. It's the first, I don't know where you are in the UK, but the first bit of remote sunlight we've had in the last few weeks. And you're spending your Tuesday evening with me. So it's probably because you're not where you thought you'd be at this age. Something got you here tonight. And if you were truly happy with your current situation, you probably wouldn't be sat in front of me tonight. And it's probably because of one of these two. You're either underpaid or you're drained, or maybe you're a little bit of both. You work hard, you're still stressed, and your income doesn't necessarily match the effort that you put in every single day. And you find yourself stuck in this comparison loop. You scroll, you compare, you get left, but you feel like you're getting left behind. You're probably scrolling either on your lunch break or 1 a.m. on TikTok like I do. And this is what it looks like. You're scrolling, you see these people driving the Lamborghinis, wearing the watches, smoking the cigars, doing whatever, the version of your life that you would love to attain. And naturally, you're going to compare yourself in some capacity. It's normal. You're going to get some level of inspiration, or you're going to hate them and block them, which I do a lot. Or you're going to get some level of inspiration. You're going to either try the thing that they're promoting, or you're not. And either that's because you're busy and life gets in the way, or it's just not something that's worked for you. And you find yourself back in this area. Self-hate, I tried that, it didn't work, whatever. And you find yourself back scrolling. And this isn't something that, I don't want this to appear like this is something I'm trying to get rid of. Comparison is the thief of joy. You will always compare yourself. It will always be there. But being aware of this cycle, understanding that you are in it, is something that I think can be really advantageous, because then you're going to be aware of what to do to still have it, but at least navigate your way out of it a little bit. Because it doesn't mean that you're lazy. It doesn't mean that you're stupid. It just means you've never really been shown a clear path to go and get the things that you want. And the missing path is this. If you're stuck, you need a skill. If you have skill, you have value. If you have value, then your income will increase. And everyone's goal, I don't care who you are and what you say, whether you're not money motivated or you are, your goal, the life that you want to live, is at the other end of earning a bit more money, right? And there's a path that you need to walk down to go and get the goal that you want to go and get. And that path is going to be full of hurdles, obstacles, different things that are going to be difficult for you to navigate. And there's two types of people. One that will walk down that path and go and get to the goal at the end of it. Or the other person that will sit and complain about not being able to get to that goal. But they're also not willing to walk down that path. So realistically, you got two options. You can either find a way to become valuable, increase your value that you bring to the world, therefore your income, walk down that path, figure it out and get to the goal. Or you have to change the goal, the path that you are willing to walk down, right? I see a lot of people stuck in this limbo of, wanting this goal that they aren't willing to go and get and then complaining about it. Don't be that person. Value is everything you need to go and get what you need to go and get. You're working hard already. I've already seen someone doing 60 plus hours per week, right? I had someone the other day doing 84 hours per week, right? It's not that you're not working hard. It's not that you're lazy. It's just that your value is low. You're a cog in a machine. You're a number. If you were to leave your job, then they'd probably replace you by lunch. Like it's creating value so that you can be irreplaceable and therefore get paid for your worth. Okay? And that is the path. That no matter what it is, whether it's sales tonight or if it's something else, if you bring value, you will have more from life. Because you are the asset. This is something you need to understand. You are the asset in your life. If you're investing into property, into stocks, into shares, into trading, you're putting your money into someone else's, not even someone, but something else's control. You are not directly responsible for that money increasing. You're just crossing your fingers and hoping it does. So that one day when you retire, you've got a bit of extra money coming in, right? The thing that I want you to consider is that maybe if you invested that money that you're investing into other things and invested it into yourself, into becoming valuable, into becoming an asset, you will inherently, one, earn more money so you can invest into the things and more importantly, invest more money. But two, you're always okay. Like no matter what, if everything crumbles around you, you're going to be okay. I know now with the skill of sales that I have, if everything around me crumbled, if I lost every single thing that I ever had, I'd be able to pick it back up very quickly because I have a skill and skills cannot be taken. External things can be. So invest into knowing more, into becoming valuable so that you are always bulletproof. And you're on time. This is the current state of the online world. This red line represents trained sales professionals. It's rising. It's rising slowly, but it's rising. But this blue line represents online businesses that need these salespeople. Online businesses have never been bigger than they are right now. Everybody is starting an online business. And that creates this gap here, this gap of opportunity where you can come in and you can learn a skill and become beneficial to these people and go on this trajectory with them. And every day that you spend thinking about doing this, you're losing money. Okay. You can't look at this as, oh, I'm not doing that. So I'm not getting it. I'm getting what I'm getting. You're physically losing it because for you to go and get what you need to get and become valuable is a choice. It's a choice that you're not choosing to make right now. You're choosing to be in your situation. And whether you think I'm a dick for saying that and I don't understand your situation, whatever, I promise you can navigate it and figure it out. It is a choice. And every time that you say I'm thinking about it or I'm going to decide later or next year or next month, I remember I've been stuck in, I was stuck in a cycle where every new year had come around and I'd be like, right, this is the year that I get on top of it. A month goes by and I'm back into old habits, right? Now, if we take the reason you see this on screen is the minimum you can earn. If we take the bottom end of earning in sales, which is about £5,000 per month, if you divide that by the 24 working days of the month, it's about £208 per day. So every day that you spend thinking about something like this, you're losing £208 per day minimum that you will never get back. And sales isn't a natural talent. Sales isn't something that we're born with. Sales isn't a gift of the gab, like extroverted sport. It's a skill that anybody can learn. The best salespeople in the world weren't born with the skill of sales. They developed it. They learned it. They honed it. They got better at it. So they created the opportunity for themselves. This stigma of this guy, you should all know who he is, cocaine or strippers tits, Wolf of Wall Street, like massively extrovert guy, is just not the truth at all. That is not what sales is. A lot of people still think sales is a scam. Sales is sleazy, and it's not. Businesses will pay you for this skill. At the moment, the global e-learning market is around 460 billion. And that was 250 billion in 2020. So since COVID, it's nearly doubled, right? And this is only going up and up and up and up. It's exploding. This is where you can sit. But realistically, by 2027, the vast majority of these businesses that we went through, the graph that we showed, will have hired reps. People are becoming aware of this industry. People are becoming aware of this skill. People are becoming aware of how big this can be. And by 2027, you're going to be competing against big boys. You're going to be competing against people that have the track record, have the certifications, have the proof that they're good, and they're always going to be the ones that are getting hired. But right now, businesses are looking for hungry people that are coming in at entry level, that want to learn, that will work as hard as they can to develop the skill and become irreplaceable in their business. 2026 is the last year of this low barrier to entry that we currently have. If you do get in now, you can become the expert by next year that everyone's competing against. You need to understand that. So very quickly, who am I? Why would you listen to me? I hope in some capacity you know who I am because you're here, sat in front of me listening to me. But I'm just going to give you a quick overview on my last 10 years. So I'm 27 now. At 17, 10 years ago, my mum unfortunately passed away. I was the one who came home and found her. And sorry for my French, it fucked me up. It sent me down a very, very dark road. And for the 5 years following, I did a lot of stupid shit. I had absolutely no direction. I think 1 year I had 10 jobs. I joined the military twice, left twice. I nearly got locked up. I was dealing drugs. I was doing everything that you shouldn't. I was pressing self-destruct for years, 5 years, non-stop. Here's some lovely pictures of me in that state, which we can skip past. But genuinely, I felt like everyone else around me was moving forward. All my friends were buying houses, they were getting married, they were becoming successful in their industry, they were doing well for themselves. And there I was, universal credit, smoking, drinking, taking, selling, everything in between. And as I said, this was from 17 until 22, 5 years. And this was all the way until COVID. And then COVID hit, and I had the reaction of a positive one. It forced me to stay inside. It forced me to look in the mirror and actually face my demons. Look at what I was running from. It saved my life, honestly. And I had this light bulb moment where I realized I was in control. That choice that I spoke about earlier, I realized that I wasn't making the choice to have the life that I wanted or be the person I wanted to be. And I was blaming other things. I was blaming my mum. I was blaming the world. I was blaming everything around me. And I wasn't looking inwards. And COVID forced me to do that. So I did. I looked inwards. I did the work. I became obsessed with personal development, whatever that looks like, training, eating right, reading every single book that there was on personal development, self-development. And this was for a year straight. This was every single day for an entire year. And it was hard. It was the hardest thing I've ever done to this day. But it made me the person that I am. It made me the person that you're sat in front of tonight. And after that year, after I'd done it, after I'd become that person, I felt so good that it inspired me to want to help other people do the same. I wanted to help other people go through the journey that I'd been through. So my obvious choice was becoming a personal trainer. I was in the best shape of my life. I was doing really well, and I wanted to help other people get there. And fitness and all that stuff was my savior in a way. So I'd found a way out. I wanted to help other people. Now, you don't need to be a business guru to understand that becoming a personal trainer when all the gyms are closed probably wasn't the best financial decision. So at the time, I was PTing online. I was delivering, driving for Amazon. I was working in pubs. I was decorating. I was doing everything all day, every day, just to get by, right? And my dad, if he is here, I don't know if he's actually made it into the call, but my dad had to bail me out more than once, quite a few times. So again, just like I mentioned the light bulb moment at the start of COVID, I had a light bulb moment again where I realized blaming other things, doing all this, and I had to take control. I had to be the person that was going to dictate what was going to happen next. I had to grab the wheel. So at the time, I obviously was working multiple jobs. I think I'd gone to visit some family in America, and I had like £4.50 in my bank. I had masses of debt behind me. And I thought, right, I need to dial in a little bit. PT was the thing I was passionate about. PT was a thing that I actually wanted to pursue and do well at. And I saw the people around me doing well at it. So at the time, I thought, right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact someone. You see all these business mentors and stuff online. I contacted a business mentor that I'd seen. to ask him for some help. Anyway, to cut a long story short, we got on a call, we had the conversation. It was $6,000. It was $6,000 to get his help, and I had £4, so it couldn't happen. Couldn't afford it, wasn't going to happen. And this was in like the September, October time. Struggled for a couple more months until December came, and he put a job advert up on his story for something called appointment setter. I had absolutely no idea what it was, but it said 60 grand yearly salary and free access to everything we provide, whatever. So I thought, I'll give it a shot. I'll apply. Worst case scenario, doesn't happen and I'm in the same boat. So I applied. We'd been talking for the last few months, so we got along pretty well. And he decided to take a bet on me. So in my mind, I was like, great, I'll try this appointment setting thing. Worst case scenario, I'll get the free thing. I can apply it to my business that I was going to pay for a few months earlier. And happy days, I can go for it. This appointment setting thing was the thing that shifted everything in my life. I was actually quite good at it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was quite good at it. And I was working at the time so I was PTing at like 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I was then doing Amazon during the day. I was working in the pub for a shift, and then get home about 9:30, something like that. And I'd do appointment setting from 9 p.m. until about midnight. 9 p.m., 9:30 till about midnight. Coupled with some relationships ending, I ended up moving back into my dad's flat at 25. So in these 2 hours that I was working in my bedroom at my dad's house, I was earning more than I was in the entire day before. So from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m., I was earning less than what I was from 9 p.m. till 11 p.m., 12 p.m., if that makes sense. So I thought, fucking hell, this is something else. So I found literally the cheapest place on earth to live, which was Da Nang, Vietnam. And I moved out there. I had no responsibility. I was living with my dad. He was sick of me. So I packed my bags. Here's me learning sales on a laptop in Vietnam with a little coconut here. And I just went all in on becoming the best I could at this. I did better until I was earning this sort of money. I was earning between 15 and 20 grand per month consistently. 100% profit, no cost, just commissions coming into my bank every single month. Here's a little screenshot of that happening. And now this is my life. So I go wherever I want, whenever I want. This is in Qatar last year. I've got my dream car, M3 Touring. I don't know if there's any car guys in here, but dream car. Got my missus, got my English bulldog puppy, who's much bigger than this now. We've got a baby on the way. I live in the countryside. I've got everything I could ever want. And this was in the space of 2 years. Okay, it completely, genuinely changed my life. Saved my life. And it's not just me. Now I've started Zenith, we're helping other people do the same. We've got Toby, we've got Robbie here, who's, again, leveling up, doing really well in this space. We've got Alex, who's closing. I think he's doing £5 grand a month consistently now. He's looking for a second offer to jump on. And we've got over 100 people now in this group that are all absolutely smashing it. A couple of people on this call, actually, which we're going to talk to at the end. Now, having run this business like I have, I talk to a lot of people that are in a similar position or want to escape the position they're in, people maybe like yourself. And these are the three options that people think they have. You either stay in the job that you hate and just work harder and save more. Cool. You're going to start a risky business. One of these things you see online, the FBAs, the drop shipping, the stuff like that. Or you can retrain for years. You can go back to uni, you can learn something else, you can come back out. 10 years later, you're probably earning a little bit more than you are right now. But you're in the same boat. You're back up to step one here. And people genuinely think they are the only options that they've got access to. And the hidden fourth option that we're going to go through, like I said earlier, is becoming valuable, is becoming integral to businesses so that you can grow with them. Right? Your value will create your income. Now, there are multiple ways of doing this. Obviously, we're going to go through sales tonight. Just know there are other things that you could do. And the sales reality, like I said, it's not sleazy, it's not shouty, it's not Wolf of Wall Street. It is just conversations. You're just talking to people and helping them make a decision that's going to benefit their life. That's it. Sales is solving problems. That's all you're doing. Every single day, you're just solving problems. You're talking to people who need help. You're understanding their current situation, where they are currently at in their life, and you're helping them make a decision that is going to benefit their life, helping them cross barriers in their mind to get to where they want to be in their life. That's all you are doing. You're holding a mirror up to them and you're showing them, well, this is what happens if you stay here. And remote sales is solving problems online. You can do this anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter where you are. As long as you've got Wi-Fi, a laptop, you're good. I was doing this on a beach in Vietnam. Now, the requirements that people think they need to become successful. They think you need a degree, loads of experience, a big following on social media, big genius idea that you can take to Dragon's Den, or a shit ton of savings. What you actually need are three things. You need a skill, you need system, and you need some support along the way. And that is what Zenith is built on. This is the quiet middle ground between 9 to 5 or the shift work or whatever you're doing at the moment and the risky startup that you've probably considered doing before. You're taking other people's risk in their business and you've got a job. That's all it is. You're just getting paid a lot more for it. Is everyone with me? Tom, are you with me?
I've never been more with you.
Oh, very nice.
Than right now.
Lovely. Cool. Right, so should we learn what remote sales is? How we can get into it? So I'm going to try and give a very, very simplified, easy, I'm going to use pictures and everything. I just want to preface this as well. If anyone's called Dan in this group, I apologize for what I'm about to say. This isn't aimed towards you. Everyone, there's always a Dan that gets offended when I do this. So I'm just saying it beforehand. If you're called Dan, I'm sorry. Dan's big and fat. So this is Dan. Here's a big picture of Dan. He's big, he's fat, he's fed up. He's called Dan, and he's fed up of being fat. Okay? Nice picture of Dan here. Now Dan is scrolling on his phone one day. Big fat fed up Dan. And this light bulb here represents him having an idea. So does the speech bubble. He sees this bloke, Matt Does Fitness. You should probably know who he is. Probably the biggest fitness influencer on the planet at the moment. He's a gladiator on BBC or ITV or whatever it is. He's massive. He's got a huge following. Dan, big fat fed up Dan, is scrolling on his phone and he sees this guy stood in front of him. And he goes, I've had an idea. So he messages Matt, big fat fed up Dan, jumps on his phone, jumps on Instagram, and he messages Matt Does Fitness, and he goes, hey, Matt, can you help me get in the best shape of my life? Then Matt, who is actually an appointment setter in Matt's account, replies to big fat fed up Dan and books Dan in for a call. This is a quick screenshot of a conversation. There would be much more going on here. There'd be more conversation, more questions asked by the appointment setter. This is just a condensed version. But essentially, we get to this point. Sure, Dan, let's book in a call here and talk about it. Sends a Zoom link. Easy as. Excuse me. That is the appointment setter's job done. That is what the appointment setter's job is. He's spoken to Dan. He's gone, yeah, Dan needs help. Dan wants help. Let's book him in for a call. That is the appointment setter. It's in the name. He sets an appointment. That is the appointment setter's job done. Then Dan, big fat fed up Dan, jumps on the call that the appointment setter has booked with this guy who looks alarmingly like me, but he's called Greg. And this guy is called a closer. So now a closer, who's called Greg, talks to big fat fed up Dan, and Dan signs up to the coaching program and pays £2,000. Again, there's much more conversation going on here to discover what Dan really wants, why he wants it, all that sort of stuff. But essentially, they decide between themselves that this is good for him. Dan wants to do it. The cost is 2K. Dan pays 2K. Happy days. Now, Matt, this guy, the guy whose business it is, pays the closer. He has to pay these staff. So he pays the closer between 10 and 20% of the deal price. So in this scenario, it's a £2,000 package. Matt pays the closer 10 to 20%, so £200 to £400 of the deal price, and the setter gets 5%, which is about £100 in this scenario. Matt coaches Dan. Dan's in shape. Everyone's happy. So what actually happened? So Matt has the following. Matt has the social media. Matt has the TV appearances. Matt has the YouTube. He doesn't have time. That's what Matt doesn't have. He's got the business, but he doesn't have the time to book and take all of these calls from interested people that want to work with him. Now, there are millions of Matts in the world. And it's not just in fitness. It's in business coaching, marketing agencies, education programs, software companies, real estate training, pretty much anything that you can think of. I literally saw a woman the other day selling a program, teaching people how to knit with those sticks. That was a business, and she was doing 100 grand a month. There is a business for everything. There are millions and millions and millions of businesses right now. This is, I'm not going to read to you, but remote sales is basically growing and growing and growing. Again, some nice figures here about it doubling in size in the last few years. But basically, there are approximately 5 to 10 million businesses right now that are actively looking for appointment setters and closers to help the growth of their business. 5 to 10 million as we're sat on this call right now. Okay, it's huge. So how does this actually apply to you sat on this call? So we've got Zenith, which, like I said earlier, we've got 3 pillars. We've got skill, we've got system, and we've got support. Just while we're here, is everyone understanding of what each one is? There's not been any questions, Sam, has there? I must be getting good at this.
No, you're good. You're very informative, mate.
Thank you, Tom. You're just my hype man, aren't you? That's why you're here.
That is literally my only function.
Yeah, brilliant. I think, yeah, cool. Brilliant. All right, cool. So Zenith, we've got the 3 pillars. We've got skill, we've got system, and we've got support. So pillar 1, we've got the skill. So the skill is being able to have real conversations that actually move people and make them want to take action. You've got to think in this scenario, I know we're joking about Dan being fat and fed up, but something's got him into that position, right? There's a lifetime of choices that have got him to being big, fat, and fed up, right? Now, in the scenario where Dan's talking to the closer and the closer is talking to Dan and Dan's scared of making the decision, what's going to benefit Dan more? Not doing it and staying in his current position, big, fat, fed up, and potentially die, or taking action, becoming the best version of himself, getting in shape so he can run around with his kids, do whatever, right? It's going to benefit him getting in shape. But there's going to be a barrier in Dan's mind that stopped him from being in shape right now. There's a reason that he's on that call and the situation that he's in. So the skill is to be able to have real conversations with people, understand where they are right now, help them see what life could be like, help them understand that they've got themselves into this position. You need to be able to have these conversations and genuinely help people decide something that's going to change their life. And only if it changes their life. We do not sell to people that it's not going to benefit. That is the number 1 rule. And if anyone tells you anything otherwise, they aren't truthful. Okay? You need to only help people, and that is the skill. We're only helping people that need the help. Now, the 2 roles in a sales environment, something like this, you've got the appointment setter who lives in the DMs, direct messages, if you don't know, Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, whatever, and books the calls. And then you've got the closer that takes the calls and signs up the clients, helps them make that decision. Okay. Now, a typical day of an appointment setter, your job is to turn eyeballs into calls. So imagine in that scenario with Matt Does Fitness, he's got millions of eyeballs across the world looking at his stuff, interested. Now, let's say in that scenario that Matt only helps, his business only helps 30-year-old males get in shape, or 30-year-old plus males get in shape. What the appointment setter is, it's basically the first line of defense. So he or she essentially qualifies the person to make sure that the people coming through into the conversations are people that fit the business. So in that scenario, it only helps 30-plus-year-old males. That appointment setter will only filter for people that are 30-plus and male and want to get in shape. Okay. Obviously, there will be various different businesses and scenarios that this will be in, but that is essentially what you're doing. Now, between dialing, DMing, taking scheduled calls, you're essentially qualifying people to make sure the initial interest of someone is that fits the business that you are representing. Okay. And you are only qualifying people that have already shown interest. So a big question that I get that we'll cover later anyway is, am I just calling people? You are never just cold calling random people on the internet and finding phone numbers from wherever and seeing if this fits. You are taking people that are already interested and making sure that they can or are justified to get the help of the business. So it's that first barrier. It's that filter between people that don't want it or can't have it and do want it. Okay? I think that makes sense. If it doesn't, please ask. Now, the average earnings for an appointment setter are between 3 and 5K. I've seen people doing 10K plus. as an appointment setter. It just depends on the business and the package price. In Matt's scenario, it was a £2,000 price package, so the appointment setter is only earning £100 per call that is closed. Some businesses sell for 30k. Right? It just completely depends on the price point. I'm just taking my experience of being an appointment setter. I was earning about £5 grand per month doing that. Okay. Then you've got the closer. So the closer is what you really want to be, if we're being honest. That's what everyone works towards. That's what everyone develops towards as well. The closer is the Cristiano Ronaldo of the sales process, right? So if you imagine Cristiano Ronaldo, he has literally everything in his day built so that he can perform, okay? He has a chef, he has a physio, he has a massage guy, he has probably one of those Wallace and Gromit machines that dress him in the morning. He has literally everything catered so that all he has to focus on is getting on that pitch and performing for the 90 minutes that he plays, right? That is your job in a sales process. So essentially the whole business structure is catered so that you can perform. So that means the business is bringing in the right leads, the right content is going out, the right ads are going out. The appointment setter is booking people, like doing a good filtering system, qualifying people, making sure that they fit the needs of the business. They are making sure that they show up to the calls that you're booked. So literally you wake up, you go, right, I'm free from, if you're in a 9 to 5, for example, I'm free from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. today after work. I have 4 hours. That is my calendar. So the appointment setter will book calls into those 4 hours of your calendar. And then you take those calls, you do what you do best, you perform, and you close the deals. Okay. Now, because this is a higher skill, more value, like I said earlier, the average earnings are much higher. So the average earnings for a closer is between 5 and 20 grand per month. Again, I've seen closers do 100 grand per month. I'm just using myself as a scenario here. I was earning between 15 and 20 on average. The best month I did was 32. Okay. So it just completely depends on the business, again, the price package and everything there. But the average earnings are much greater because the skill is much higher. Is everyone with me? Does all that make sense? Good. I'm just going to assume it does. Cool. Right. That's pillar 1. That is the skill of sales. Pillar 2, system. You need a system. You might have all the skill in the world. If you don't have a system, you're going to fail. Okay. Now, there's something called a pipeline. And the pipeline is essentially all those interested people at the top, all the way through to the sales at the bottom. That is a funnel of people. So it's like the big fishing net at the top, filter, down to the sale. Okay. So that looks like messaging, bookings, showing up to appointments, the sale, and then therefore the commission. Now, at any one time, there can be thousands and thousands and thousands of people in this pipeline. Okay. One of the businesses that I worked when I was closing full time, there was 65,000 people that I was essentially responsible for. So if I wasn't tracking, if I wasn't aware of where everyone was at any one time, it's going to be an absolute mess. So the tracking and the system is control. Okay. You want to be in control of everyone and where everyone is at any one time. If you're just guessing and keeping on top of names and where everyone is, you will forget and you will just be in chaos, like it says. So here, I've given 2 tracking sheets that are going to be really beneficial for you to use and understand. These will be sent out in a video format after this class tonight. You will receive both these tracking sheets and a video explaining how to use them. Essentially so that you can go to businesses and say, look, I've got my own tracking sheets. I understand that I need to be on top of stuff and I built these sheets. You can take these away and you can use them for yourself. Okay, you will have a video and explain how to work these as well. So that's tracking, system, pillar 2. And then we've got pillar 3, which is support. So generally speaking, you don't need more information. Everything that I've spoken to you about for the last 10 minutes is sales. That's all you really need to understand from a high level. That's all you really need to understand. So you don't need more information. You don't need more theory. What you need is correction, support, and like growth and scenario-based learning so that you can improve and improve and improve. Okay. There is not the best salesperson in the world is still improving. Like you are never going to be like 100% everything, right? I'm still learning. Everyone is always still learning. And that's where the support comes in massively. So what the support includes with Zenith, you get one-to-one feedback at all times, weekly calls. So there's like 7 hours of weekly calls per week at the moment. We've got role plays. So we've got a group of 106 people, so you can role play anytime you want. One-to-one interview prep with the team, trial support. So when you get placed into a job, you'll have a trial period. You get support through that entire process. You get a placement pipeline, so a full job board with over 600 jobs available per month. And like I said, a guaranteed job. You will have a job at the end of working with us. And on top of that, we are constantly trying to develop Zenith so that the best people in the space are teaching you. Sales is about being an individual, not selling like me, for example. So I've worked with multiple coaches over my career where I've grabbed different lessons and teachings, and I've got an amalgamation of how I sell. Okay, now I will teach you that method, but it's also good to have other influencers. So I bring in other coaches. So at the moment, we've got a mindset coach working with A-list celebrities. So one of her clients is Conor McGregor. She's literally just the best. She just resets all the mindset. It's like, it's a bit woo-woo type stuff, but it's genuinely like helping you pour from a full cup. You need to be top of your game at all times in a sales career. So we have a mindset coach working with our clients. We have a sleep coach. This guy saved my life. I was in a hole when I was working full time. So he helped me figure out my sleep. Again, just so that you can perform at the top of your game at all times. Sleep, it's not just sleep, it's sleep, performance, all the rest of it that encapsulates performing at the best of your ability. And then we've also got one of my mentors that taught me how to sell back in the day. So he's also a coach within Zenith, so that we have the best people in the space. So success in this game really equals the 3 pillars. You've got skill, you've got system, and you've got support. That is how you become successful in sales. Right. I am going to go over some common questions that I always get to hopefully answer them before you ask them. Again, use the chat if you do have any questions. We'll go through them at the end as well. So is remote sales actually a real career? Obviously, remote sales is a real career. Sales in itself is probably the oldest thing around when you really think about it. Think cavemen, sticks for stones, like everything is sales, right? You're in sales at the moment. No matter what you do, you go to work and you're selling yourself daily. You sell yourself to your partner, you sell yourself to your colleagues, you sell yourself to your boss. You're always in a sales environment, and any business that exists relies on revenue. Okay. Now, how do we create revenue? We create revenue through sales. So in any business that you're in right now, it has sales. You are representing sales in some capacity. It's not new, right? It's not a new thing. It's just a new way of doing it. And it's just becoming visible. Why would a business trust someone remote? COVID proved this because it's cheaper, it's more efficient. It doesn't matter where you are. As long as you can produce revenue for that business and help them grow, you are going to grow along with them. If you can help them bring in customers, you are valuable from anywhere. Like I said earlier, I was closing deals from a beach in Vietnam. It was literally sunglasses on, top off, sunbathing while making money. It doesn't matter where you are. They don't care. If you perform and you do well, they will look after you. They will hold on to you. They will never get rid of you. I've been taken to £800 meals. I've been flown out to various places. You are really looked after when you're in sales. Do real businesses actually hire beginners? Like I said at the start, at the moment, yes. They want people that are hungry. They want people that work hard. And the thing is, you're already working hard in the job you're in right now. Whatever you do, you work hard already. That's all people want, right? I hire for multiple businesses, not just Zenith. I'm sales manager for other businesses. When I hire people, I don't take the people with the big ego and the big receipts and show them what I've done before. I take people that are hungry and want to learn, okay? Because they are always the best people, right? You are in control of whether you do well in a role. It's not because of your experience. It doesn't matter if you've got experience. If you understand what it is, which you should by now, and with some training and some like support, like we said, you're always trying to develop. If you work hard in a role, you will scale very, very quickly. People don't want the big egos and the receipts and all this. Isn't this just another online money-making scheme? Absolutely not. Schemes rely on recruiting people or selling dreams. I'm dressing this up a little bit. Sales is a job. At the end of the day, you work for a business, okay? But you just have autonomy over your life. You can be wherever you want, and you can earn. You can add a 0 to whatever you're earning right now. That's the reality of this game. You can earn much more than you are right now. It's just a high pay job. So there's nothing schemy about it. It's a job. Why do companies pay so much commission? Because you help them make money. Simple as. If you are in a business and you create revenue that wouldn't have been there otherwise, paying you is obvious, right? So if you bring in an extra 20K or 200K, paying you a percentage of that is a no-brainer because they wouldn't have had this extra revenue anyway. And don't forget, they're still winning. right? They've still got the 16 or the 18K in this scenario. Sales roles always pay more because you are directly improving revenue. And like I said, you're looked after as well. Is this the same as call center jobs? This is my least favorite question because I've worked in a call center. No, it's not even close. You're not cold calling random people. You're not getting screamed at down the phone. You are speaking with warm leads, people who already follow the brand or already show an interest. You are talking to people that want it. It's consultative conversations. Is remote sales oversaturated? This says no. Like I said at the start, there are a lot of people trying to enter the space, and I should show you some of the screenshots I get daily. People wanting to sell for me, or I'm a remote closer, and they don't have a brain between their ears. There is a lot of shit out there, so it's not oversaturated with good quality people, and that's where something like this comes in, because you can get the appropriate training and you can become good and the expert in comparison to these people that just beg for jobs all day. Every single month, thousands of coaches are launching offers, are launching businesses, and every single one of them needs sales staff. Okay. If it's real, why isn't everyone doing it? Remember the conversation we had earlier about the path, walking down the path? It's hard. Learning something new is difficult. They want easy money. Okay. People want easy money. People want to sit at home and just fuck about. Remote sales isn't a complicated idea. It's not hard to grasp, but it does require certain things that people won't necessarily go and do. It takes a certain type of person. It requires consistency, communication, accountability, and it's not easy. It's not an easy thing, but with the right training and the right support, we can mitigate a lot of that. How do I know the businesses I join are legit? So this is why Zenith exists, to be honest. So I've been fucked about quite a lot in the sales space. I'm owed quite a lot of money from various different businesses because I joined bad businesses. So this was the gap that I spotted, and that's why I created this business. So the biggest thing that we do is place you into real jobs. So we have a recruitment team internally that go out and find jobs. They vet the businesses. They make sure that they've got legit earnings, that they've got actual staff, that they're paying them, that are up to date on everything. They sort out the contracts, they sort out the NDAs, they do everything so that you are looked after in the process. So we're never throwing you into a role that we don't think you're going to get looked after properly. And it's a trust cycle. That recruitment team makes sure that I'm a legit training center, and that recruitment team does the other end with the businesses as well. So you're always getting placed into businesses that are actually in need of the people and not just there for a quick buck. Isn't commission only risky? Yes and no. So 99% of the people that join Zenith have a 9 to 5 or have a job in some capacity. So for you to then just leave that and go in on something that's commission only is a very risky move, right? So what we do is we place people into roles, especially if you have a job, one that you can do outside of your job. So if you're in a 9 to 5, you're going to get a job that's like 6 till 10 or 7 till 11, something like that. So you work in the evenings, so you can maintain your earnings there. But more importantly, the jobs that you initially get placed into are going to have a base salary. So you get paid to be there regardless. You get money anyway. And then your commission is on top of deals that you close or revenue that you create. Okay. Now, the only thing with having a base is that you have a capped commission. So if they're paying you for showing up, they're not going to pay you as much commission, and it's going to be capped. So there's a caveat to this question, where is if you improve your skill, if you get better over time, which you will do, you can then make the decision as when to go into a commission only role so that you can have the uncapped earnings. Okay. If we take me, for example, now, I would never ever take a role with a base salary because I know my skill is that I trust, and that I will have much more money come in from something that I am directly responsible for how much I earn. Okay. So when we place people, it's usually on a part-time basis with a base salary so that you can work it alongside your job, find that tipping point of income, and then decide what to do next, whether you want to maintain that and just earn some extra cash, or decide to take the jump from your current career and do something like this full-time. And that's where the commission only stuff would start to be more appealing to you. I think I answered some questions there. If not, please ask, as always. So you've got two choices. You have two choices ahead. One, you can do it alone. I did this. It's not easy. It's not pretty. It's hard, but it's possible. I'm not going to lie to you. It is possible to do it solo. I just wouldn't suggest it. Or we can have the conversation about Zenith. So Zenith, I guarantee you a job. I'll train you one-to-one. I'll train you step by step. I'll make sure you're looked after and you understand it fully. And like I said, I will guarantee you a closer job. You're going to be earning up to 10 grand per month, just like Jack, just like Alex, just like Lewis, who should be on this call, just like Joe, who we're also going to talk to. So what do you actually get? This is Lewis with his brand new car, by the way. Very nice car. So what do you actually get? You get a one-to-one onboarding with me. You get the full course, modules, assessments. You get the live lessons daily. You get a community, which is honestly my personal favorite part, because when I first started, sales was quite a, well, it still is. You're always that weirdo in the friend group, if you know what I mean. When you're doing something like this, you're that weird one that's, what do you mean? People don't get it. So having a community of people around you that are like-minded, that are in the same game, is very motivating and it's infectious, right? I did it solo and it was depressing at the best of times. So having that community is, again, another real reason that I built Zenith. So I absolutely love it. People really vibe off each other. Weekly one-to-ones, certifications all the way through, setter, and closer certifications. And like I said, the guaranteed job at the end of it. So here's a screenshot from the actual group. I'll actually just... Has it changed, Tonya? Can you see the group? Tom?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah, so this is the group. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but essentially what I'm going to show you here is the job opportunity board. So what we have is the mini course within the course, which is teaching you how to become a top applicant. So you've got a 2.5 hour course here on everything that you need to know to become a top applicant. You've also got a full master sheet, which is updated daily on, here we go, becoming, again, an admirable hirer. Okay, so you've got everything there. But more importantly, you have this. So this is our AI placement software. So there are 186 jobs added in the last 7 days. And then here is the job board. So essentially what this is you fill in a profile based on everything that we teach in here. And then you have access to all of these roles available. Okay, so if we just take the top page here. So 1 day ago, this was put up 12 grand per month, 20 grand per month, 2 hours ago. 5 hours ago, 10 grand per month, 40, 12 and a half, 15. If we go down to setter stuff, we've got 10, 8, 15, 8, 6, 7, 12, 10. There are constantly jobs being added. There's currently 1,000 jobs that are actively hiring right now, and you can filter through all of them like this. The whole application process is done through here. But the most important part of this software isn't just that you have access to jobs that are legit hiring. You have a priority placement. So they can tell when you've come from that job board because it comes through into a different section, and they are the priority applicants that they should consider. So coupled with training and learning how to become the top applicant, you're also put in front of them as a priority. You think if these people are putting these jobs out there and they're looking for 10 grand per month and they're putting that out, imagine how many people apply, right? Anything that you can do to stand out is going to be beneficial. And that's, again, why we created this, so that you can be put into a separate pocket of people to consider. And because they are personally being vetted by us, we know that they're legit, and they know that the people that we source to them are good applicants to consider. So they prioritize you, and you are the ones that get the interviews. That's how we guarantee you a job. So extra bonuses that you get through this webinar. You get support throughout your entire career and progression. So once you're in Zenith, you're never out of Zenith. So if you get your first job and then you want to either get a second or look further and grow and keep on the job board, you always have our support. You're always taught how to improve, how to do better, and you will always looked after to move up the levels and get the best out of your life and your opportunity that you've got. Always. You're never out of it until one of us dies. You get a 5 job replacement guarantee. So if the first one doesn't work, you get an extra 4 guaranteed. You get the closer qualification, and you get a significant discount just for being here tonight. But I'm only doing this for 5 people. Okay? We only take on 5 people per week so that we can keep the quality of the coaching to the best of its ability. And you start tomorrow. I only want driven and ready people. Okay, I don't want to have to convince you to keep going and keep showing up. So if you are an action taker and you're ready to go for something like this, we want to talk to you tonight. So like I said at the start, I'm not going to put a price slide or a checkout link or anything like that. There's going to be a call, okay? Because Zenith is designed for people who are serious, okay? We don't want time wasters. This is not a sales call. This is for me to see if I think we can promise you the guarantee. I'm putting my name on the line. I'm putting my name out there, and I have to make sure that the people coming in are the right people, both benefiting you and going to make the business not dilute and bring in bad people and bring a bad name to the business. I have a lot riding on you doing well, so I don't just let anyone in. And like I said earlier about the skill of sales, it has to fit your current situation, it has to be beneficial for you. It has to be the thing that's going to genuinely impact your life and help you get to where you want to be. If it's not, then we don't have it, and that's cool. But we want to have a chat with you anyway. So regardless of where this goes, we want to talk to you. If you're even a smidge interested, let's have a conversation. So for tonight only, we're opening on a limited number of calls for people who want to start tomorrow rather than weeks from now. People who do qualify and want this and start tomorrow, you will receive a discount for being here tonight. And that will not be available later. And we will explain that on the call if we think you are a fit. If not, that's cool. Now the benefits. Like I said, you get the onboarding, the full course, the modules, the assessments, the live lessons daily, the community, the weekly one-to-ones, the certifications, and the guaranteed placement in the role. So you've got two options. You can either stay where you are right now for months, if not years, before you start to see progress, or you can invest into yourself, become the asset, like I said earlier, at least see if this is right for you, and either get your entire investment back or 10x it. Because it is impossible to lose money here. If it doesn't work, and you're the one person it doesn't work for, you get a full refund on everything. So the webinar bonuses, a guaranteed sales role, the discount for being here tonight, the 5-job replacement guarantee, the full closer course in its entirety, and the recognized closer qualification. So if you are ready to learn more, you want to get access to the exclusive webinar guarantees and bonuses, and you want to make this year the year that you actually commit to change and do something about it, then we want you to book a call. So Tom, if I check, has he? He has. He has. There is a link in the chat now, guys, and pinned at the top. If you click that link, there will be a short questionnaire. That's just for us to understand you as an individual, where you're currently at. Fill out that questionnaire for us. That will then redirect you to a link to book a call. If you then book a call, you will then be onto the calendar with one of the guys. They will have the conversation with you to see if you are someone that we want to work with and something that this is going to benefit you. And if it is, we're going to have the conversation about you joining. Okay? But either way, I want you to have a conversation with us. I want you to click that link and I want you to tell us why you want to be part of it. Okay? So click that link, go through the questions. If you have any questions in the chat, please ask. If not, jump on that link. Get yourself a little call booked in. We want to have a chat. Tom, was there any questions that you felt would be good for me to answer? You're muted, mate, if you're talking.
I was muted. You know me so well. Yeah, there were a few. Let me just take a look. There was a few about, trying to balance it with a job, other commitments, family. Obviously people have stuff going on. So I thought you might want to talk about that. About Joe Mumba.
Is Joe here?
Joseph Hunter, if you're in the chat, say hello.
If you are, show your face.
There were also a couple of questions about like self-employment taxes, stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so, I'm just balancing it with life.
Okay. So in regards to juggling it, like I said earlier, I was probably in the worst situation to start something like this. I was literally working 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. and I was doing 2 hours in the evening. And I was fortunate enough to find an opportunity that would allow me to do 2 hours in the evening. But realistically, you're going to be starting something outside of your current situation. So everyone that joins is in a job, right? Everyone's got something going on, whether you're in uni, whether you've got a job, whether you're whatever, right? A full-time carer. You've got some time in your evenings or in your days. You've got some time somewhere. And the benefit of something like this is that you get actual feedback in the form of cash, right? I'm not asking you to go and spend time in your evenings going to the gym for 4 hours so that you can look better. That's hard to motivate yourself. But if your situation now is I'm working full time and I'm worried I won't have time, why are you here, right? You're here because you potentially want to earn more money. So this is going to be a path to earning more money. No matter what you do, whether it's this, whether it's something else, whether it's jumping to a different job, it's going to involve time, right? It's going to involve time. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that it's a lovely experience juggling two things at once, but it's what you have to do. No matter what it is, you have to juggle. You have to find time. You have to prioritize tasks. You have to make time for a thing that's going to, and if you believe it's going to benefit you, then make time for it. People hire for part-time jobs a lot. That is why we have this opportunity, because the evenings are where we can work, right? So if you are in a job, you're like the other 106 people that are in at the moment, right? It's the purpose. Because then once you do start earning more money, you can then make your own financial decision as to when to leave and when to go all in on this. Like I did. I was fortunate enough because it depends how you look at it, fortunate or unfortunate. I was living with my dad at the time, so I didn't have any direct responsibility. So I just left and went to Vietnam, and that was my commitment. But then we've got people like Lewis. Tom, I'm going to kick you out.
Wow. You've used me and then you booted me out at the end. I was a cheerleader.
I'm gonna kick you out because I can only have another one. Lewis, if you're listening, I'm gonna put you in the chat if that's all right.
Right.
Just make sure, Tom, just answer any questions and put the link in and stuff. Right, Lewis, invite as a presenter. Here he is.
Frank, how's it going, man?
Good, you?
Yeah, good, thanks, bud.
So Lewis is someone that you're potentially going to be talking to tonight or tomorrow. So one, I want you to meet him. This is Lewis. But also, you joined Zenith as a client, right?
Yeah.
You joined at the start of January. So do you mind just giving the guys just like a quick walk through your situation and how and why you're here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I was flicking through Instagram. I saw your ad, very similar to the webinar, and I've been saying to my partner for like every weekend, like something's got to change. Like there's more out there, and then I just made the decision to go all in. Quit my job on the Monday, handed everything in, didn't even work my notice, went and bought a laptop with the last bit of money I had, and then just dedicated myself to Zenith and landed a role 9 days in. Just went all in, man.
So Lewis is the one that I probably shouldn't have segued to after what the conversation we just had, but you're like the 1% of our client base that just left, right? You just left your job the second you started.
Yeah.
Why did you do walk people through? Because you have responsibility, you have things going on, you've got bills to pay, you've got a family to support. Why did you decide that route instead of juggling?
I just like I've said to you before, it's just a case of I'm someone who can't split my energy. I prefer to just really focus on one thing and just give it my all. And I'm like that for everything. Like how you do anything is how you do everything, right? So I'm like it with people, and I just knew that I had to have that same mindset towards this for it to work for me. And I suppose as well, like when I started, like my bills are like 2K a month. I don't mind being open and personal, So my bills were like 2K a month. I had like 1,800 in the bank. I didn't know if I was gonna there was no guarantee, right? In terms of I had to just back myself, go all in, invest, and put in the time and just believe that it would work. So if you do have responsibilities, I'd say it's just even more of a reason to just go for it, really. Because once you put yourself in that position where you're like, right, okay, there's no distractions with my normal 9 to 5, for example. I have no choice but to make Zenith work. It works. That's how I see it. I can't split my energy, man.
And what would you say to the people that are considering the split energy approach, like the evening work, and because that's like most of our clients, isn't it? Like they juggle. It's still possible, right? It's still an option.
It's still possible. Like, don't get me wrong, you can do that, and then you can you'll still succeed. It will just be a little bit slower, right? It just depends at what pace you want to go at. Because Zenith is so well put together, and the job opportunities are so legit and well put together as well. It makes sense just to kind of leave what you're currently doing, go all in with something as well structured as this and just get to work. But at the same time, if you do want to, if it makes you feel more comfortable, if that's how you operate as a person and you want a little bit less pressure, but would prefer to maybe put in more hours in terms of you're going to be a bit tired when you get home, kind of accept that fact, and then just put in a few hours in the evening. Of course, you can have a slow transition. And then once your earnings start significantly increasing and it's covering your bills, etc., and then you can move away from your 9 to 5, that can work. But me personally, I'm just a big believer of like manifestation and making that one decision, believing in it, and doing everything possible to make it work. That's what I would say. So it does work, of course. It's just a little bit slower.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously you're going to be talking to some of these guys tonight. So again, it's just good to have you here, and it's you've been what, 3 months?
3 months now, yeah.
3 months.
Does it end of December? I joined. Was it end of December?
I think it was 4th of Jan. I don't know why I remember that, but
okay, 4th of Jan. There you
go. Again, can you just compare from where you were to where you are now? Like, obviously, I know you don't have to share exact numbers and stuff like that. Like, that's cool, but just like a quick comparison, just so people that do have a call with you can understand that you were in the same boat a few months ago.
Yeah, I was. I'll briefly explain it. I was working in a job where I just didn't get on with my boss. I was doing £300 a week in fuel. I wasn't happy. I made this jump, committed, I put in the hours. 3 months later, I think the most commission I've earned in a day is £820. And then my best week is like 3K. So yeah, a lot's changed. It's just, I just feel happier as well. A lot of it's not even about the money. You've got kind of two routes to this. I see, like, you've got the time aspect, and then you've obviously got the financial aspect as well. But it's just nice waking up. I go gym, not when it's like crowded in the morning and in the evening. I can go to the gym at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. Take a few calls. It's just a lot better, man. Like, my overall health, even mentally as well, it's just so much better. It's improved every aspect. So the last 3 months, not only have I been able to obviously buy my new car, as you guys saw on the previous slideshow and things like that, but it's not always about the materialistic things. It's just because I'm happier within myself. It's made my relationship better. It's made me better as a person. So yeah, a lot's changed, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I love that you brought that up, because it's not always obviously I'll share stuff on Instagram that's like your car, the big wins, the stuff like that. But it's like when I had the same realization when I was a PT. I had a client once that she was like 4'11". She was tiny. She lost 20 kilos, which for someone that height was insane. And the biggest thing that was like a win to her, which was really weird, and I never thought about it, was that she could put her shoes on without having to like fucking get into this weird contorted position. That was like she was like so buzzing that she could put her shoes on. And what you just said about like it's like the shock waves, isn't it? Like the little things that it affects as well. It's not just the new car and the ease on bills. It's the person you become and the freedom you feel, and the gym at 1 instead of 5, and the shopping on a Tuesday instead of the busy Sunday, and just the little things throughout the day that you don't even realize that are fucking amazing if you
literally
situation you're in. Or like traffic was my biggest thing. I was like, fucking hell, this is
the traffic. Oh my god, I used to get so mad about that. So mad. Also, as well, it's my location as well. Like, I was working from my flat with my partner. And after when did I get I got my office, I think 4 weeks ago now. I've been here 4 or 5 weeks. But I was able, due to the finances and stuff, I was able to then go and rent my own office space. So now I've got like my motivational quotes up on the wall, my new mic, my monitor, my place where I can just come every day, take my calls and just lock in. Whether I'm taking closing calls, whether I'm, applying for roles, whatever it is, I've got my own space now to just lock in. I've changed my environment, and now it's propelled me to another stage. And then, 6 months down the line, I'll then change my environment and set some new goals. So it definitely does have a knock-on effect to everything, like financially, mentally, relationship-wise. It just improves your life overall, I would say.
Amazing, man.
So,
Really happy for you. I'm going to kick you out. I'm going to invite Joe in.
go on.
Get his point of view on it as well. Thank you, Lewis. If you talk to Lewis, this is Lewis. See you soon.
See you later.
What a guy. Right, I'll invite Joe in as well. Joe's someone sort of like other side of the perspective who, again, working long days, doing it in the evenings. So I think he's a good perspective to have in something like this as well. Let's see how zoomed in he is. Ah, here he is.
How we doing?
Normal Zoom. Are you in the UK?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm back now.
Good. Right, this is Joe. Again, you might be having a chat with Joe. So if you booked in with Joe, this is Joe. Joe, do you want to just give us a quick hello? Who are you? Why are you here?
Hello, I'm Joe, and I'm part of Zenith Sales Academy. Yeah, pretty simple, man. Literally come across one of your ads back in the beginning of December, applied for a webinar, hopped on one exactly like everyone that's on here right now, decided I was going to take the leap and go from there, essentially. 5 weeks later, landed my first role and got cracking from there. So, yeah, that was kind of how I got started and how I'm here.
And what were you doing day to day before you joined, and that sort of, because I know, again, talking to Lewis, who just sort of left and went all in day one, what was your experience like? Because I know you were working a bit more on that.
Yeah, literally. So I was kind of doing 12, 13-hour days. 4 hours of that I was commuting to and from London in a van. So yeah, pretty miserable, sitting in a lot of traffic. And yeah, I didn't really have a route out, to put it lightly. Tried many things before, but nothing for me was kind of as tangible as something like sales. So yeah, I just got to sort of point where it's like, okay, I'm 28 years old. I can see a reflection of where I'm going to end up, because I'm working in an environment with people that are double my age, and that's exactly where I'm going to end up. And that just terrified me. So I needed to do something about it. So yeah, I made that committed decision to make that change over and just try something brand new and just go all at it, to be honest. So yeah, obviously heavy days and heavy hours, but for me it was just not even something I'd ever, how do I put it, it was never going to be something that I would allow to interfere or stop me or use an excuse. It was a reason that I used to actually start in the first place.
And in actual application, how did you find the evening work and coming home after that 14-hour day, driving and sitting in traffic and then jumping onto a group call or doing some learning, or apart from having a monster at 8 p.m, which I still will never let you forget. But how did you find that experience doing that?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, you're a bit tired, but the way that I've always seen it is that you pick your hard, don't you? And it's like, do I want to be uncomfortable in the short term and have long-term comfortability, truly, or do I want to kind of stay in the bubble that I'm in and not change anything and it'd be way worse further on down the line? I think it's quite easy to weigh up the cost of not doing anything in the short term, but no one really ever seems to think about the long term. So for me, it's like, okay, regardless of how old I am or was, it's whether you're 28, 38, 48, 58, it's, if you want to change your outcome, then you're going to do anything, in my eyes, in my opinion, you'll do anything to do that. So when I was given the opportunity to, and I was given a blueprint and a roadmap of where I could be if I took action, then I took action. Because the way that I see it is that if I'm looking to get a result inside of something and someone is right there with a result that I want, then they have the shortcut to that. So why would I not shorten my learning curve? Why would I not apply myself to everything in my power to get there? So for me, yeah, of course, I'm not going to sit and say that I was full of beans, up all night or whatever. But yeah, you kind of pick that version of difficult, don't you? So for me, I would rather sacrifice, if you want to call it that short-term kind of discomfort as such, and then make it happen.
Amazing, man. Has anyone got any questions for Joe or Lewis or me for that matter? Just anyone if you have an appointment as well, just again, thank you, Helen and Sue, put in the chat that you've got an appointment. Just say that you booked, that you're in. If not, what are you doing? Let's have a chat. Yeah, Joe, I mean, you've done very well, do you know, but I don't know if you weren't here early in the class, were you? But I said something about it just being a choice, right? Like you choose. Do you think you have the special sales sauce, or are you just a guy that's learned something?
No, I'm just a bloke that's just applied myself and learned something. Yeah, there was nothing there kind of beforehand. Like it's the same as anything, isn't it? It's like anyone that's inside of a job right now that they're doing, before they started it, they had no idea how to do it. No one comes out the wound and knows how to be a plumber or electrician or a carer, do they? Like it's something that's learnt over time. So the way that I've always seen it is, if you are truly unhappy with where you're at, you will do anything in your power to change it. And if you're not, then you don't really mean it. Like, and it sounds harsh, and I'm not trying to be harsh, but it's so true. Is that I think words like financial freedom and location freedom, all this stuff gets flung around, but when it comes down to it, when it comes to that point in the road, that crossroads where people have given an opportunity and they feel that level of uncomfortability and fear, like the minute you don't take that choice and you take the other road, you're looping back around to exactly where you were in the first place. And you're always going to get to that point in the road at some point. And if you keep delaying and delaying and delaying the decision, it's just going to get worse. So for me, I was willing to nip that in the bud because I was serious about what I wanted to achieve. I didn't just say things for the sake of it. And I didn't just use my situation as an excuse or
Did you though?
Play the victim.
Did you though?
Second?
How long you been in that job?
9 years.
So that point you just made about I didn't use it as an excuse. And did you previously? Like, were you in that cycle?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
Why? Because I'm not going to be naive and assume that I'm the first person that you saw offering something that you wanted. But why? What was the catalyst for you to stop going, oh, maybe, but then no, and then actually do something? What was that catalyst moment for you? Can you remember?
I think it was literally just the fact that if you've come across different opportunity before, then you're automatically reminded of that when it comes to that decision making point, right? And it just got to the point for me where I needed to do something about it. And I think one thing I've heard before is that you either act out of inspiration or desperation. And for most people, that out of desperation, what I mean by that is that maybe people's, I don't know, financial situation isn't great, but then it might take something like a family member getting ill for them to really scramble around and do something about it to find the money. But why would you want to be put in that situation where you want to have to act from a state of desperation and worry about things? Would you not rather be inspired about it and do something before the moment arises? So for me, is like it just came to that point, and it was like I need to do something about this, because if I don't, then I'm not serious about what I want to achieve. So, and I was, but I delayed things before for whatever reason that was. But yeah, specific catalyst moment, I wouldn't be able to put a finger on it, but I think it just, for me, it was kind of that breaking point. And for some people, that comes later on in life. For some people, it doesn't arise and they just stay in the bubble, you know. But for me, I was genuinely serious about changing my situation. I knew I had to do something about it. And yeah, I remember you asking me before about, did I feel scared about it? Of course. Like, you're meant to, aren't you? Like, when it comes to changing and doing something different, it's meant to be something that's uncomfortable, but you use that as a driver and you just go all in.
I think that scared point is good because we've got, let me check now. How many have we got? We've got 107 people in Zenith at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And every single one of those 107, including you, including me, were scared.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis, who was on before, I think it was not scary to leave a job and go all in, right? It's fear is good, like, and people will stop and not do it. Like, we've had 107 join, we've had about 6,000 not join, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the same symptom every single time. It's fear, it's fear, it's fear. But the people that do it are still scared, right? No matter what you do. The fear is always going to be there, that lump in the throat, that butterfly in the tummy, that is always going to be there. But the people that do well, and again, not just in this isn't just this Zenith and that's it, but everything. If you walk through that fear, you don't know what's on the other side of it, but you do know what's on the other side of not walking through that fear, and that is the same. And I'd argue you should be so scared of staying the same that you're just in the point where you're weighing up which is scarier, right?
Yeah.
Really. Like when you actually think about the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months of your life, what is scarier? Trying something new and potentially having this amazing outcome. Worst case scenario, you're in the situation you're gonna be in if you don't take the risk, right? You may as well just try and get out of the situation. So that fear is a good point.
Yeah, I agree, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's like I said this before as well, and we've spoken about it. Is you use your current situation as an excuse for a reason at the end of the day. So you decide what that's going to be, and the more you delay something, the more uncomfortable it gets. And it's funny because you kind of have two ends of the spectrum, don't you? You have the end of the spectrum where people are just terrified and they just think that they just can't ever do anything. But what you've got to remember is your current results are the results of your choices. And as harsh as that sounds, yeah, you can be dealt some bad cards in life, but we also have a freedom of choice to an extent. But it's up to you to decide that. So the moment you kind of take power of that and do it yourself, then things will begin to change.
I think there's some questions in here just about cost and how much it is to pursue and stuff, but I'm trying to word this right. All 107 people that have joined, I don't think one of them, again, has had the resources at the disposal to comfortably do it.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still in. So it comes to a point where, like Joe said, sometimes it will be a family member or something bad happens that you have to scramble and find money for something. You become resourceful. So you've not always got the resources to do something, right? But you can become resourceful if you want something enough. And that is what creates the fear. Let's be honest. That is what the fear has. Fear, you're not going to be scared of potentially changing your life if it was, completely free and there was no risk included. The fear comes from, fuck, I have to find this and do something about it. Mm-hmm. Now, the people that we bring on, I can be transparent with this. Most people have paid a different price. It's an individual that I'm looking for, not a price tag that I'm looking for. And I want a group of people, like I said earlier in the class, my favorite part of this group is the people that I get to speak to every day, because they motivate me to do better, right? And just like Joe, they motivate Joe motivates them, Lewis, Tom, we're all in the same boat. So the people that come on, it's not a price thing, right? It's a person thing. If we have the right person sat in front of us and they want it and we want them, we will do everything in our power to find common ground to make it work for them, right? Because that's what we're here for. We're here to build a community of the right people and get the right people into these roles and create opportunities for the right people. If you're a dick, I don't care if you're going to pay me an extra 0 on the price. I don't want to work with you, right? It's all about the people. So Helen, Leslie, there was some other people saying it earlier, book a call anyway. Let's just have a chat, because we want to know who you are and whether we want to work with you first. That is genuinely our first intention, is to get in front of the right people and work with the right people. Anything after that, we can figure something out. Right? And I leave full responsibility with Joe, with Lewis, with Robbie, if you talk to Robbie, with Joe, to make that decision on who comes on board. Right? And if they think you're the right fit, then I think you're the right fit. So just want to cover that point as well. Tom also said earlier, just the stuff that we covered in the group regarding the free resources as well. You won't get those unless you apply as well. So make sure you do apply and let's have a chat regardless. So yeah, I think, Joe, I'm going to invite Tom back just to make sure I've covered everything.
Yeah, it's all good. I've got a call at 1:30, so I'll let you do thing.
All right, sound, yeah. Nice one, mate. Cheers.
Done.
All right, where's Teabag? There he is. If anyone's still here, by the way, if you booked a call and you've had all your questions answered, you don't have to be here anymore if you don't want to. We've covered everything that we need to cover. If you do have another question, please ask. I'm just going to get Tom in to make sure I've covered everything I need to cover because I do forget things. Teabag. Here he is. Where's your beach and your sun? Oh, I can't hear you anymore. So, there we go. I've done everything, Tom.
Huh?
You're going to tell me off after this. Have I done everything I need to?
You're absolutely perfect, Frank.
Thank you, Hyman. Thank you very much.
You really
have I answered everyone? Have all questions been answered, do you think?
I believe so.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, everyone, just make sure you've applied. So we've got some information about you. We'll send some relevant stuff your way based on where you're at right now. Yeah, link's still in the chat at the top in the yellow box. I'll put it in again in case you've lost it.
No worries, Robert. Yeah, genuinely, I want to thank everyone for coming. I appreciate you coming on a Tuesday evening and listening to me waffle on. I've also got a cold if I sound nasally and horrible. So just apologies for that as well. But
Sue, if you're free tonight, I'll get Joe or Lewis to give you a call or something. Joe or Lewis, if you're here, give Sue a quick message.
They'll be on the call.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll either speak to you tomorrow, Sue, or see if we can get you in tonight if that's better.
Yeah, just a quick note as well for anyone that has booked call and still here. Life happens. If you can't make it, we don't hate you. Just please let us know. We do hate you if you don't let us know, because that's not good.
Also, to Zoom call or a Google Meet, so it's on a laptop.
Yeah, please don't be driving.
No one's just gonna ring you.
Yeah,
so to call through the link.
You'll get some emails with just some extra info about the call. You'll also receive a Zoom link. If you don't have the Zoom link, you will be reached out to on WhatsApp by the person that you've got a call with as well. Just let them know that you can't find your Zoom link, and they will send it you through WhatsApp, so you can just jump on there as well. But yeah, I think we've covered everything, guys. So genuinely, I really appreciate you being here. I'll wait on for another 2 minutes. If you want to start logging off or ask a question. If not, I will hopefully see you on the inside. I don't know if my dad actually made it onto this one.
No, I think I saw his name.
That man, I send him the same link every single week. And
Sue, if you're still here, let us know if you're free at 9 p.m. and I'll move it for you in 27 minutes.
Lovely stuff. Right, guys, thank you all ever so much for coming. I appreciate it. Have a brilliant evening, and I will hopefully see you on the inside. Good night, goodbye, God bless.